This is the entry to the vessel. We come up on the swim platforms, which are 2 metres long. Very handy to have, very easy to board with dinghies and to dive off. A gas barbecue here, which also doubles as an oven. The engine rooms are aft, through this hatch here, either side. They're quite spacious. What we have here is the NAF S3 fire system. We go forward from there, this is the solenoid bank for the hydraulic winches. We go across further, we have the hydraulic pump, which drops down into the hydraulic tank there itself. It builds manifold to each compartment, 40mm pump. It's all to New South Wales Waterways Survey. We have the main engine here, the starboard side's a Nissan FD35, marinised. Duplex fuel filters, Raycor filters, and also a final filter on the engine itself. Behind here we have the 15 kVA generators, one each side. That's a Kubota engine on a 15 kVA Stanford alternator. They've been very, very successful, done a very good job. Hydraulic steering further back and the control valve for the steering itself. And we have stowage, which are in drawers tucked up on the inside of the tunnel there. This is our cockpit here. Now, so I stepped out over a 300mm high combing. That just prevents any internal flooding in the event the boat gets pooped. That's built to New South Wales Waterways Survey. Here we have a hand sink just to clean yourself up before you go inside, touching the instruments. Under the wheelhouse floor is where we keep spare tools, fishing gear, and also where all the electrical goods are installed. We have the main battery bank here, 24 volt, 2 banks of 24 volt gel batteries. We've got 2 60 amp Woods chargers under here, one for each bank of batteries. The 240 volt quick recovery hot water service. We have a inverter here, SE32 inverter. And we have an isolation transformer here, which allows you to go into a 110 volt power marina and put the power through it and bring out 240 the other side. Also in here is the hydraulic pump for the automatic pilot, battery isolation switches, power points, standby battery charger, and all the other paraphernalia that you need to operate a boat in isolation. Here we have a locker, carries a number of life jackets, and also plates and picnic gear, etc. Okay, here we have a gas bottle storage, external from inside, 2 40 kilo gas bottles. Have a life ring with a line. We have foam extinguisher here and the elementary can crusher here. Also, this here is the control mechanism for the hydraulic winches. We have 2 spare winches in and out for all the winches. Okay, down the boat we've got a couple of rod holders here where we do a bit of fishing and sometimes get lucky. We also have a duck board down here where we do all our cleaning of fish. The dinghy here is a 4.2mm aluminium dinghy made specifically for the boat. The 3mm aluminium with a double bottom, checker plate, alloy seats, and a 15 horsepower Yamaha outboard. The boat's heavy for a normal tender, but it's very robust, it's very rugged, it can be dropped on rocks, etc. There's 2 anchors on the vessel, both 70 kilo CQR anchors. This hatch gives access to from the anchors, not even secure. This comes down. There's a chain on one side, 110 metres of 12mm high tensile chain. On the other side there's 10-metre chain tail with 120 metres of 24mm nylon rope. The anchor winch is a Muir Thor 24 volt electric winch, very good unit. And when we anchor up we put on a bridle to stabilise the vessel under anchor. The rig was designed and built by Dave Lambourne Yacht Rigging in Brisbane. He designed the rig and installed the rig on the vessel. You can see the rig has got a retractable spinnaker pole on the forward end here. The furler on the headsail is a Furlex 500S and the furler on the staysail is a Furlex 400S. The halyard winch on the mainsail is a mechanical winch, as is the reefing winch on the port side of the mast. The furling ropes go one either side back to the after end of the vessel to be furled using the power winch, the hydraulic winches at the back there. The rig is 22 metres above the housetop, a very substantial section, and over-designed for long blue water cruising. In conjunction with Dave Lambourne, Gary Saxby made the sails for us. Gary Saxby from Brisbane. As I said, the headsail's 62 square metres, the staysail's 32, the main is 92 square metres, the spinnaker is 205 square metres. The material is hydronet of the sails, and the spinnaker I think is 4 ounce. This is more of Dave Lambourne's handiwork, the mast itself. We have the main halyard winch here, which is on a 2-part tackle. That's a manual winch. On the other side we have the reefing, where we reef the main from. The main's got a fully battened, Harken batten system. The deck gear is Harken. The tracks, the cars are all Harken. Either side there's 2 tracks for each headsail on either side of the vessel, so we can sort of set the sails quite accurately to get the best performance out of them. There's a full watertight bulkhead in front of the starboard cabin, either side, port and starboard cabins, and on the starboard side we've got the dive store. Another watertight bulkhead, then we have a storage place where we keep the dive tanks. We'll just go through the dive compartment here. It's full depth. We've got 6 complete sets of gear with numerous spares. There's the octopus here and the regulators. Here we have the Bauer Junior compressor, 240 volt. It's been a very good unit. It's probably done about 200, 300 hours maximum. Below that there's a 3-cylinder Clisby compressor, which is for hooker driving, also it'll supply air to paint the vessel. BCDs, weight belts, face mask, snorkels, fins, all the paraphernalia that you need to go diving. On the port side we've got the compartment, we have the water maker, and forward of that we have where we stow the spinnaker. The water maker is 240 volt. It's a sharp lift unit made in Cairns, Australia. It produces 2 litres a minute. This is the filtration unit. The water comes up through, the filter's 10 micron, 1 micron fill, then down into the high pressure pump. This valve is the port tank of the starboard tank. This is the wheelhouse, as you can see. Good conning position, we sit inside, nice comfortable chair. All the navigation instruments are at immediate sight. The radar here, echo sounder here with all repeated information from the GPS. A GPS navigator here. We have the logic wind instruments here. And this is our automatic pilot. Main compass here, ship's compass there. We have instrumentation for both port and starboard main engines. We have the fire system over there. And again we have the throttle controls, throttle and gear controls, and the 2 instrument panels, 1 for each generator. We have 2 VHF radios here. We've got a handheld VHF radio there, and behind me here we have the ICOM HF radio fitted with a sail mail also. This is our Sony Vaio laptop fitted with the CMAP Wells charts. And here of course we have the age-old Clearview screen. Excellent unit, works very well, particularly when it's needed at night time when it's very wet and very rainy. This is an occasional berth that we use sometimes along passage when the 2 of us on board. Lynn's on the wheel, I might sleep there for cat nap there for a while, and vice versa, she might be there if I want some company in a long passage. From the occasional berth we move across to the mainsail controls. This is the main sheet winch, and the traveller winch is either side of that. The traveller is through the window here behind us. After the traveller there are 2 kayaks, Hobie kayaks. There's 1 Maui, 1 Pursuit. Above and beyond the kayaks there's a frame there which houses 24 volt and 12 volt solar panels and a few aerials. Outboard of that frame there are 2 RFD 8-man inflatable life rafts. Coming down from the wheelhouse into the main passageway from the cockpit to the saloon. On the starboard side we have a shower and toilet located here. This works very well, isolates the deck usage from the en-suites in the cabins. Further on we have the panic bag the 406 EPIRB. We have our fishing rod stowed up here, a couple of occasional mattresses which go on deck when we're sleeping outside at night time, whatever. We also have here the 220 litre 24 volt freezer, which has given us very good service over time. Moving from the freezer on into the galley, the first thing we come past is a 375 litre 24 volt fridge. Adjacent to the fridge, there's a number of plate storages in here. This is storage for food locker. Further over we have storage in here for the electrical appliances, rice cooker, blenders, etc. with power points internally. The other coffee, tea, galley equipment, knives, forks, cutlery is located here. Here we got the Broadwater 4-burner top and gas oven. It serves very well. We have a microwave there, Panasonic. Moving across, we've got power points below there. We've got a double bowl sink here. Up here we have the glass storage for our wine and champagne and spirits glasses. When we're at sea, we normally put a towel up on there which stops any movement of the glasses. They all arrive secure and intact, so that after the first anchorage we can enjoy a glass of wine with the sun down. Moving further over, we have a settee which doubles as occasional berth here. My lovely lady Lynn sitting on there. And from that position, also from the galley and internally here, we have excellent visibility to forward and to either side, so that in crowded waterways we have excellent visibility and obvious safety from that factor. You look underneath the headstall from inside here, so there's no blind spots at all from the ship. Moving forward from the galley to the main saloon, we have the television set over here. Lynn sitting at the dining table, which takes 8 to 10 people. Underneath the dining table we have a storage area where we keep our DVDs and videos, and Lynn's showing us the storage space under the settee, which is double depth and goes throughout the whole length of the settee. Here we have the entertainment system, which is tape CD players supported by Bose speakers in the saloon. Also there's identical Bose speakers in the cockpit, which can be isolated. We go down the passageway to the starboard hull. The layout is very similar. The port, the starboard side we have a cabin down here which has an ensuite. Up forward we have a cabin which has a vanity unit, and here we have the support mechanism to make it beautiful, which is a fold-in ironing board here, and we have wardrobes in here, in here. This is our Bendix washer dryer. It works extremely well, uses very little water. This is our laundry tub here. Underneath here we have additional storage for laundry powders. We keep our paper towels there for the kitchen, also toilet paper and all those other spares we use all the time. Adjacent we have additional storage here for towels, sheets and other necessary goods. This is a starboard aft cabin which is identical to the portside cabin, showing the double berth, the shower and toilet, and also there's a vanity unit behind the door there. There's wardrobes here and also another wardrobe in here, which is adequate storage, and there's also storage under the bunk for more clothing, etc. Going down to the port hull, the area between the cabins, this side is we have our office space as opposed to the laundry the other side. Here we have filing cabinets. We have our storage space here for our station equipment. Storage up there for our files, other equipment. Through the door there is the portside cabin forward, which is identical to the cabin on the starboard side. And under here we have further storage, and here we store our photographic equipment. And I'm just going into the cabin here on the port aft side, which is identical to the starboard side. Here we have a vanity unit. The storage space is 2 wardrobes in this cabin, and on all the hatches on the vessel we have these magnetic screens which keep out most of the mosquitoes. It's always the odd one that sort of manages to find its way in.